Ark's various ETFs have taken a hit alongside the rest of the technology sector this year. Despite a severe decline in the strategy thus far in 2022, Ark Invest ETF has had net inflows of $1.3 billion. That's unbelievable. Here's why Cathie Wood's Ark Invest is still investing in innovation during market recession. For Ark Invest, a venture capital firm based in Boston, a market recession hasn't changed how it invests.
This is insane.
That's because Ark Invest is a venture capital firm that invests in companies working to solve society's major challenges, environmental issues like pollution, energy use, or the lack of access to healthcare or education. Why Cathie Wood Ark Invest still invests in innovation during market recession. As long as we don't fall into a recession, we're in a long bull market, says Ark Invest Cathie Wood. Recent stock market volatility indicates that investors view the Federal Reserve's intention to continue rising interest rates as excessive at a time when the global economy is contracting. Cathie Wood, whose Ark Innovation ETF topped the performance of every United States equities fund in 2020's pandemic boom, predicts that the fund's holdings of innovative companies will do well as economic growth slows. The S&P 500 index has fallen by almost 20% so far this year. That is commonly used to define a bear market. At the same time, Wood argued that extraordinary shorting activity is driving down the share prices of creative companies. Ark's goal is to provide long-term wealth appreciation through investments in innovators, those who facilitate innovation, and those who profit from it. Despite a 2% increase recently, the $7.9 billion Ark Innovation Fund is down 50% so far this year. The fund has dropped about 75% from its all-time peak in February 2021 and is currently near its all-time low of $34.69, reached in March 2020 at the beginning of the coronavirus outbreak.
It's sad.
According to FactSet, Ark received more than $180 million in June. The business announced that the fund had increased its holdings in General Motors Company owing to evidence that the automaker is serious about its transition into electric vehicles. The company's largest holding is still in Tesla Incorporated. In spite of the company's losses, Ark Innovation has managed to maintain investor interest. They have not given up hope. Hope gives you the spirit to move forward in life. That's the spirit of Ark's investors. According to Lipper data, the fund has experienced net positive inflows over the previous 4 weeks, with $455.7 million coming in for the week ending. Surely Ark Invest has a well-thought-out plan. Undoubtedly, that's the case. But what could that approach be? Keep watching. In a few minutes, we'll reveal Ark Invest's strategy. Making wise choices with your money is key to growing your savings. Subscribe to our channel to get the most up-to-date information on what's happening in the financial world, and to get the finest recommendations on what to do with your money next. Cathie Wood Ark Invest Strategy Overview. Growth in the eyes of Ark is predicated on new ideas. The company's goal is to partake in the superior returns and increased value of assets brought about by disruptive innovation over the long term. Building on more than 40 years in the industry, Ark Invest seek to locate massive investment prospects brought about by developments in fields like robotics, big data, machine learning, blockchain technology, cloud computing, energy storage, DNA sequencing. To obtain long-term alpha, Ark focuses on putting all of its attention on new technologies that can cause a disruption, making financial commitment to the innovators, enablers, and end users of disruptive technology. Using a bottom-up and top-down approach to research, an open research ecosystem can predict when innovations will occur and where markets will converge. Providing techniques that have low overlap with broad market indexes by investing across market capitalizations and industries. Ark does not base its strategic decisions on any particular benchmark. The portfolios that Ark manages typically have high active share and limited overlap with passive indices. Despite this, Ark frequently compares the results of its portfolios to major market benchmarks, including the S&P 500, the Russell 3000 Growth Index, and the MSCI World Index. Although most of the names in ARK's portfolio are not included in or have very tiny weights in broad-based indexes, ARK expects its portfolio companies to be prominent in such indices over the course of a full market cycle. For what reasons should you choose Ark Invest? Let's imagine, for the sake of simplicity, that Ark is a worldwide asset management firm that seeks to invest in companies that have created industry-altering technologies. Keep watching if you want to find out more. What makes Ark Invest unique? Ark is a global asset management with a focus on businesses that have introduced game-changing innovations in their respective sectors. Disruptive innovators are businesses that enter an existing industry at the low end and eventually replace market leaders by replacing them with products and services based on technical improvements that render the old techniques obsolete. Do you know what's obsoletely remarkable? Whiteboards. Artificial intelligence, robotics, energy storage, DNA sequencing, and blockchain technology make up the bulk of Ark's investments, since they are typically associated with the kinds of science and technology companies that are at the forefront of disruptive innovation. Away from that, Ark Invest has long been concerned about inflation. What you probably didn't know is inflation leads to price increases for products and services, which reduces the purchasing power of currency. What should you do during times like this? Watch our video What Cathie Wood's Ark Invest believes you should do to resist inflation. Thanks for watching today's video. I hope you enjoy it.